Welcome, welcome. Thanks for your patience. We had a few technical difficulties. Well, Alexa's on with me right now. Doesn't have to be, but there we. Hi, you'll see her in a minute. Liz Sunday, Executive Director of Music to Life, coming to you from the woods of Vermont. Welcome. You're letting us know where you're from in the chat, which is great. I am so sorry. We normally would be streaming live on Facebook. And Ed Sawicki was at the ready, our board member, to help us set up, but I'm so sorry, live stream friends. You are seeing this as a rebroadcast because for whatever reason, live stream or the whole Zoom Facebook conversation has gotten all muddied. So we can't do it live, but anyway, but you can, if you can click on the link, I think Ed's gonna get that for you. If you have any friends that you know are watching by Facebook, click on the link and come see us live in Zoom. So I want to make a special point, and I know I saw him log in, that tonight's program is being so thoughtfully and generously underwritten by dear friends and dedicated environmental advocates, Jane and Bill Stetson. And I know I saw Bill log in, and Esme's got this job of trying to find him among all the people that have signed on. But Bill, you want to wave at us? Are you there? Are you showing your camera? Can we see you for a minute? And if we can't, we'll circle back and wave at you. But I just want to thank you so much for underwriting tonight's show. Thank you, thank you. And all right, and so we've got, yes, they're all coming in here. Oh, there he is. Hi, Bill. So glad to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. You're in for a great show. Really appreciate your support. Cool. So, all right, we've got folks from, let's see, Durham, New Hampshire, Boulder, Rockport, Mass, Albany, Austin, Dallas, San Francisco, New Haven, Barrington, New Hampshire, Elliott, Maine. Thank you, everybody. Great to see you. We're glad you're here. New and old faces. So a quick intro to us. Music to Life was founded by me and my dad. Some of you know him as Noel Paul Stuckey of the folk trio Peter, Paul, and Mary. Yes, he will be with us tonight. We build music through activism through music. So Music to Life supports musician change makers. We help musicians around the country become catalysts for change in the areas of civil rights, human rights, climate advocacy, poverty, and health. Our signature program is our accelerator, which is the first incubator of its kind for social change musicians. We connect these artists with the resources, the training, the partnerships they need to create music-driven change in their communities. And I know we're getting some links put there in the chat so you can learn more. And it was really in this spirit that this Brave Troubadours series was created. To showcase the diverse and the talented musicians of our country and to highlight their determination, their innovation, and their creativity. So tonight, we honor both the earth and environmental activism in all of its forms. And you heard a little bit, if you tuned in during that song, you heard a little bit about Rachel Carson, who was obviously a vital spark for the environmental movement, but her work did focus mostly on white, wealthier populations. So she missed the Latino, Black, Native American, and low-income white families who were and still are disproportionately affected by climate change. People of color have consistently been consigned to industrial neighborhoods by a legacy of racist mortgage restrictions and companies' interests in cheap land where they imagine residents have less political sway. So as threats of environmental degradation continue to emerge, we're seeing slowly but surely movements that are more and more representative and inclusive and that are asking critical questions like, whose voices are missing? Who holds the socio-political power here? Who's most vulnerable to inequities in decision-making? Somebody I've come across that you should be aware of is Dr. Mustafa Santiago Ali. He's really at the forefront of building more diverse environmental coalitions. Right now he works for the National Wildlife Fund, but actually Bill might remember that he was a senior VP for the Hip Hop Caucus. And his words, to address our most pressing issues on climate change and environmental justice, we must honor that communities speak for themselves. So by working together in authentic, collaborative partnerships, we make real change happen. So on that note, of course, the invitation tonight, as you engage with these artists, is to lean into their messages, learn from their work, and move forward as supportive allies. So thank you. Moving right along, tonight's episode of Brave Troubadours, you're going to meet or get reacquainted with RaShad Eas, Elexa Dawson, and Me and Renee, Troubadours of Divine Bliss. Hello, 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 everybody. Very nice to see you. Coming from all over the country. RaShad, I believe you're in New Haven. Is that correct right now?
No, North Carolina.
Oh, you are in North Carolina. All right, excellent. Alexa is in Kansas, correct?
That's correct. Emporia.
Emporia?
Emporia.
Emporia, excellent. And you guys, ladies, where are you?
We're in the Hoosier National Forest, just an hour outside of Louisville, Kentucky.
Awesome. Terrific. Great. So we are almost ready to dig in. Thanks everybody for giving a wave. But I want to do some quick Zoom housekeeping. And make sure you're muting everybody. That's part of my Zoom housekeeping. So keep yourselves muted, please, until you're ready to applause or to applaud everybody. And, you know, if you can, I know some are camera shy, but do keep your cameras on if you can. These Zoom gatherings are unique because they enable the artists to really feel like they're in a virtual audience, which we all miss our live shows. So, all right. And keep an eye on that chat because the chat, as managed by our very own Randy Harath. Hello, Randy. Hi, there she is. She is the host, basically, of our chat this evening, and she's going to keep you updated with information on the artists, with a tip jar. She's going to take your questions if you have any. We're going to have a roundtable a little later in the evening. And also as part of the show, working hard behind the curtain is Esme Cole, our operations manager. Esme, hello, hello. Hi. And I mentioned our tip jar. Again, Randy's going to keep dropping that link through the show. We really encourage you to support their work. And we're ready to jump in. Finally, thank you for your patience, everybody. Again, got a little delayed because of technical stuff, but we are here and ready. So Alexa, hello, hello. There you are in Kansas with that fantastic mural behind you. What I want to do first is share an introduction, you know, sort of my introduction to you, and then I'm going to let you step in really with your introduction and your first song. So let me just start with this wonderful way of describing your music, which we all got a great kick out of during rehearsal, which is that you present a sultry, spirited, original music with a warm honey mixed with prairie dirt voice. I don't know who came up with that. It was not me, but that's a great description. Her songs are influenced by her, let me make sure I get this right, Potawatomi.
Yes.
Heritage, nature, family, love, and loss. As a rural artist, Alexa deeply values community, and for 12 years, she produced the Chase County Earth Day celebration. In 2019, she was awarded the Artist in Business Leadership Fellowship from First Peoples Fund, which helped support her internationally acclaimed album, Music is Medicine, songs from which have been featured on SiriusXM's Indigenous Music Countdown. Alexa has performed in multiple private showcases at Folk Alliance International and was a delegate at the International Indigenous Music Summit. She's on the Kansas Creative Arts Industries Commission touring roster, the Matfield Greenworks Advisory Council, and in 2020 was awarded the Western Arts Alliance Advancing Indigenous Performance Fellowship. Woo! So, Alexa, I'm going to let you kind of step into the introduction, and then you can just go ahead and carry on with giving us your first song. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you for having me. I just want to do a short introduction in Potawatomi, our Potawatomi language. Bojo, Amon Dejnakas, Potawatomi and Anishinaabe Kwe and Dao, Shishibeni and Devon Douglas, Oklahoma and Dochbia, Mina Kansas and Shkode and Data, Jigwe Mina Shike and Dodemic. So I just said there a traditional introduction that I am from Oklahoma, from Chandler, and I now live in Kansas. I see the chat popping up with connections to Chase County and Emporia. I am here in the beautiful Flint Hills, which is the traditional territory of the Osage people and the Kanza people. And today, my wonderful community members have allowed me to come in here to the Lyon County History Center. So that's where I am today. And this is a beautiful crazy quilt, a very old quilt that I get to stand here in front of today. And I want to, yes, thank again, Liz and all of the team that has been so wonderful to work with so far. And they wanted a song about, you know, Earth Day, about our mother. And I happen to have a song called Mother. And this is a song that I wrote from the perspective of the mother, from the perspective of the earth. And Robin Wall Kimmerer, in her book, Braiding Sweetgrass, said something to her students, like asked them, do you love your garden? And of course, her students said, yes, I love my garden. And she says, does your garden love you back? And that's what this song is about the earth loving us back. You and I, we are the same. I'm the place from whence you came. Gave you bones, I gave you blood. Turn your face toward the sun. Stay with me a little while. Sow your seeds, dream deep. You'll remember who you are. Remember who you are. Who you are. Stay with me. You will see. You and I, we are the same. Dust to dust, from whence you came.
Thank you, Alexa. It's fine to unmute and clap. Yay.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, thank you so, so much. Oh, it's so lovely to share this space with you. All right, well, there is so much we could talk about. Your work, your heart, your music. But our focus today is going to be, I think as you and I talked, I think what we're going to try to do is orient this around the indigenous food movement and sustainable agriculture, two things that are very close to your heart. And I guess we can just start by, if you could share this idea of how sort of your work and role as a musician is sort of vital, kind of sort of feeds those areas or sort of moves you through those areas of the heart and mind and soul.
Sure. Well, I think it's reciprocal. And in fact, those connections and the work with the earth and with food and with my relatives that are working so hard in the indigenous food movement and bringing these issues to the forefront of food sovereignty and reconnecting with our traditional foods, those foods that nourished us for generations, that really informs my music. So it is a reciprocal relationship, I believe, and it is an honor to be able to write music that reflects a different worldview perhaps than what some people might be exposed to, and then share that. So the music is the message, I suppose, that gets out into the community. But music has taken me a lot of places and helped me to connect with a lot of people. And I go to food summits ready with a guitar if I need to be, and then just ready to listen most of the time, because I learned so much around the people who have been doing this work, and really connecting and reconnecting. So it's a two-way street.
Oh, absolutely. That's lovely. And I'm just wondering, because it's like you're both an artist and a creative around this and a student of this. You're sort of bringing, because you're in this program now, right? Also, so I'm just wondering about that blend, and is one informing the other, or yeah?
They absolutely are. In our worldview, and in the worldview that I am reclaiming as my own, we are whole people, and our lives are not compartmentalized into artwork and different things. And in my traditional language, there is no word for art, and there's really no word for music. And I believe, and many people believe, that it was because it was such a part of everyday life that it would be like, talking about breathing or drinking or whatever it is. Art is embedded into us, and it infuses out into everything that we do. And so I am interested in becoming a whole person and fulfilling all of the roles that I've been given as a mother, as a musician, as a gardener, and as a person who works with plant medicines and things like that. And yes, I found out about this opportunity. I've been gardening for many years and collecting these beautiful seeds that I've been given hand to hand from people who have been caring for these precious relatives for generations, and then passing them around. And the opportunity to increase my knowledge around sustainable agriculture came around as a surprise. And I really did not think that I would be going back to college at the age of 41 at all. That was not in my plan. And I think I found out about this in November, and circled back in December and found out there was an available scholarship, and I signed up, and I just did it. So here I am, becoming a student again, and really loving it, and really enjoying my time that I get to go to the farm at Johnson. I go to Johnson County Community College up in Lenexa, and really enjoy the time with the people that are working to do this, and figuring out these ways to grow food and to get it to people with a reciprocal relationship in mind, and that it's not just about extraction, and it's not just about taking those nutrients out of the ground and selling them, but it's about the soil itself, You know, that's how it all starts, is with the soil. And the soil is not just dirt, right? But it's water and it's air and it's decaying plant matters and it's decaying bodies and it's, you know, insects and everything else. That's the soil, and that's what gives us our nutrition. So everything that we eat came from the soil somewhere. And so agriculture is something that involves every one of us, whether we think about it on a daily basis or not. We are all dependent on our food systems. And so taking a closer look at those food systems and finding out what can we do to be better stewards of the land and to be better, you know, keep in mind who needs food, who doesn't have access to food. How do we get it to them? These are all things that interest me greatly. So I'm really happy to have this opportunity to get more education, and we'll see where it takes us after that.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Well, and I can just see the education going both ways. Like I can just imagine your fellow classmates and the folks that you're on this journey with also just really appreciating your eyes and your perspective and how your music brings this all to life as well. So
for parties. So this is really good.
Well, yay for you. So great to talk to you. We are going to circle back with you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing. Really very inspired by your journey. So really appreciate it. Great. Okay. So let's head. Did you say you were in North Carolina? You did say you were in North Carolina now, right? RaShad, you did. Okay.
Right.
I know that you divide your time, but hello again. Here you are. This is Dr. Thomas Easley, AKA RaShad Eas. Hello. Really glad to have you with us. I am similar to what we did with Alexa. I'm going to read your illustrious bio that you and I worked on together, and then we'll shift into talking a little bit more about your work. So, RaShad Eas, a prolific instrumentalist, lyricist, and scholar. He's been a campus pastor, a forester, an assistant dean at Yale University, and a diversity facilitation professional. Originally from Birmingham, Alabama, RaShad carries forward the history and revolution of the civil rights movement through his work in lyrics. Since 2008, RaShad has created 6 full projects that weave together poignant stories of Blackness, faith, spirituality, diversity, love, pain, environmental justice, respecting Indigenous nations, and being open-hearted and minded. I did not want to edit any of those descriptors. Your music crew, Great Minds Alliance, released their first collective album, Dean's List, in 2020. You do not shy away from tough topics nor from tough circumstances, and you use your wide-ranging experiences to craft your music, messaging, and impact on those you work with. So RaShad calls his art Save Your Life music, to teach people about life and the environment and to inspire people to take care of themselves and others. And bottom line, he encourages everyone to listen to the artist within and to share it with the world. So again, we could spend a lot of time with the artists on this show, and there's so many facets to your talents. But as we talked about, given the time that we have, we're going to focus on your environmental justice work, particularly with middle schoolers and teens, and your visions for kind of the future of that programming. So what we're going to do is just start right off with you kind of in action up on stage. We did a little clip of you doing your thing. So we're going to start with that.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I want you all to do something. We're going to do a little call and response. I want you to say, come on, when I pause. Like this. Good morning. Come on. Boy, I don't believe this. Let me try it one more time. Good morning. Come on. Here we go. Here is my minority report.
Come on.
About what's going on with the poor.
Come on.
No clean water, got liquor stores.
Come on.
No banks, good housing can't afford.
Come on.
Got drugs, got guns, got whores.
Come on.
Dope boys, no books, gym floors. Now pause. Dead pool, can't swim and lay at my pores. Contaminated, mentally challenged, I'm sore. Get scholarships, but my body earns scores. I want to use my mind and explore. Cricket scared cops standing at my door. Say, I resemble this dude that shot for. I don't own a gun, but I am at war. Praying about who coming after the 44th. President's evidence there won't be no more. Black folk for a while, not expecting support. So, thank y'all.
Excellent.
Wow.
Great snapshot. That was, I just want to see so much more. So we get to see you now. And I really appreciate, I mean, curious about you unpacking that a little bit, you know, sharing this work with youth and really this intersection, right? Like racial, environmental justice. There you are. So I want to turn the floor over to you to talk a little bit about that work.
Okay.
Please.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. You know, and I already thank you everybody being here, and I already thank you for the first performer. Alexa just floored me. So, but that piece that you all just watched, I was standing in front of a group of 300 high schoolers and talking about recruiting them to NC State, where I used to work, College of Natural Resources. And so one of the things that one of my mentors a long time ago told me, use what's natural to you to get the attention of people. So I said, all right. So once I started, you know, rhyming in front of crowds, I noticed that that was a good hook to get young people in particular, you know, just to want to tune in and to listen in. So while I was at NC State, I was part of another initiative that was called Neighborhood Ecology Corps, where we worked with middle school young people. You know, we worked with them, teaching them science, we teach them about where the plants come from, teach them where the water comes from. But then when we wanted to address or try to address like different inequities that they were facing, we wanted to get their opinion and their thought about what they were going through. And then every year when I was there, I worked with them for 3 years before I relocated to Yale. These young people did a number of things. They either wanted to plant a community garden for themselves and for the elders, plant trees, you know, so that they could, you know, have more fruit there, have more shade, or come together and go and confront the legislature and tell them about the issues that they're dealing with and how, you know, you as lawmakers are supposed to support us. And so that piece that you just heard, I was working with them. We were doing some journaling, and we were in the forest, and I asked them to write about where they came from in their neighborhood, and what they said is the same. The way that they describe where they came from is the same way. It sounded just like the neighborhood that I grew up in. So I was like, all right. So I said, well, let's put some poetry together. Then we took the song, and then I actually did it on a friend of mine's mixtape B. The name of the song is All Eyes on We. And you know, we wanted to share. We told the young people that there's really no disconnect between what you're going through, the struggles you're learning about in school, what you see on the news, and what's going on in the environment. So we need you to be able to connect this yourself. You know, because some places may not teach you how to connect it. Some places may not want you to, but we want you to, because we understand that these things are connected. So that's what brought that together. And now I'm working with a school. I don't know if you wanted me to go into talking about
Common Ground. I do want to
introduce
Common Ground, but you know, as you were talking, you know what I was just thinking about was Ken Burns' National Park series, because when he did that series and he took it around to urban communities, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if you're familiar with the story, but he, people were, you know, the kids in these classrooms, you said it the other day, I don't see any trees. What do the parks have to do with me? Why should I be part of the park? The parks aren't for me. They're for a bunch of white people who have trees and they're, you know, or whatever, like just this notion, like I don't own that. And so Ken Burns actually took it upon himself. I don't know the details of this, but he took it upon himself to like start a whole educational program that would go with the parks, you know, program, so the kids would start to understand, well, no, the parks do belong to all of us. But I feel like you have talked about that in your work too, that there's a sense of, no, let's talk about environment. What does environment mean to you? Right?
Yes.
Like you really try to get in there with them. So just curious about, yeah.
Well, because I don't think I sit at the forefront, but I work with a number of people who are at the forefront of this discussion around environmental justice, climate change, social justice, and I've published some on this myself, but I noticed that in academia, the conversation goes a certain way. It's very, intelligence depends on who you're talking to. And I think that there's numerous kinds of intelligences. I think the genius is common. But the way we talk about it in academia, quote unquote, very scientific, very, very laboratory, very, and in some ways anthropomorphic too, right? But when you take that to the communities that are dealing with these issues, they may not talk about it that way. So academia, air quality. Where I'm from, asthma, I can't breathe. Okay. Academia, they'll say, oh yeah, we need to save the environment. Where I come from, we like, man, the water's dirty, and how we gonna get that clean? So, you have these macro ways of discussing something, and you have micro ways that people actually experience them. And what I like to do is remove the chasm of language and actually bring in the actual reality of experience and communicate from that way.
Totally.
And that's what these young people do. And that's what I tell people when they want to talk about the environment. I'm like, well, see, they're going to want to talk about what they actually go through. So if you don't want to talk about what they actually go through, it's going to be hard for them to take you serious. Because if this is about them, then it has to be about what they understand too, not just what we think we understand about them.
So true. So true. So yeah, let me go ahead now and I'll introduce, I had not known about Common Ground. So Common Ground is the nation's longest running environmental charter school. And it's also a center for learning and leadership, which invites people across ages and identities. I'm now reading their mission statement. It invites people across ages and identities to connect to their urban environment, grow to their full potential, and contribute to a just and sustainable world. So amazing place. I've just learned about it because of you, but yeah, you want to talk about your work there?
Sure. We'll give a shout out to Joel Tolman and Shireen Lopez. So those two in particular they make it very easy for me to work with the young people. Because I've been like one of the teachers who's known now as a rep for, I'm the one person, one of the people that all the students come to my class. So they all show up for mine. And, but the name of the class is Rap and Poetry. And what we do is we do what I kind of like to say, righting our wrongs, writing, WRI, wrongs. We're giving, I shouldn't say give them a chance, but this is a space where these young people come in. It's like they basically can let their hair down. And because they love rap, because they love poetry, they love talking about it. Well, see, some people think that the way that I do hip hop forestry, that I think that they need hip hop to learn. That's a lie. I don't think that they need hip hop to learn. There's nothing wrong with their brains. But I think that if we want them to be interested in this, I use hip hop to hook them. And I'll be honest with you, even though I am a forester too, so I have worked in the outdoors. There are times that I need, support to stay engaged in this. So I also use hip hop to help me to communicate and to stay, intrigued and to stay engaged in it. So the thing that we use this program is a space for the students to hone in their talent. And now they write poetry, they've written songs, and we're going to be doing a concert to close out the program next week. And but if you see these young people get online, every week, you might see a young person, get online and they have plastic covering their window. You might see a young person get online and they're, babysitting, their baby sister. Another person might get online and they're cooking. And, like me, so a lot of these young people grow up fast. And so, how do we tap into their brilliance and use that to help us come up with ideas? Because they're highly intelligent and they can raise families. I know that they can educate people too. So, yeah.
Oh, amen. All right. Well, we are going to come back to hear another piece of yours. This is just, thank you for being here. Oh my gosh. So let's give it up, RaShad. Thank you so much. All right.
Yes.
Just thanks for your work. Thanks for your artistry. Thanks for your heart. All right. So I want to remind people to go ahead and send questions, because we'll have another roundtable opportunity to talk with artists. And so while you're thinking about that, we're going to shift and head out to Ojai, California to check in with Dad, and my fellow co-founder of Music's Life. Hello, Dad. You are muted, but I'm sure you will unmute in a moment.
I'm unmuting. I'm flabbergasted. I'm not used to going out of turn. You usually save your dad for the little niche that follows the three accomplished artists.
Oh, well, we're mixing it up tonight. Everything from the Facebook not working to, just we're being a little crazy tonight. We're being a little crazy tonight. Anyway, hello. And so I have a question for you that I didn't prepare you for, but that it's not out of left field question, but I know that your heart has been in this environmental movement for a while. I know that you were inspired by Helen and Scott Nearing's Back to the Land movement, which, and you moved the family to rural Maine in the 70s. And I was actually telling Randy and Esme, I was just reflecting back. So there I was in the 4th grade in a classroom with kids with no running water. And it was quite something for a kid, who had been on airplanes, and, it was amazing. And then there was that whole attempt at farming, but I'm not going to talk about that. That was a very interesting journey with the pig and the chickens and all that. But my question for you is, was there anything, what I don't know is what sparked your overall kind of environmental kind of passion and sort of interest in climate change and the environment as an issue. And maybe that's a helpful lead in, because I know the song you're going to do too has to do with that, but I'll turn it over to you.
Well, curiously, an underlining Music to Life's impact, I was really drawn to simplifying our lives. Both your mother and I had experiences in the country that we held very valuable. And there's something about folk music that requires you to be kind of transparent, authentic, and have a heart. And there's some romance occasionally in a piece, and poetry in a piece of music. But if you could speak to issues that concern your neighbors, then you get the double thrill of not only sharing entertainment, but also providing some information and sometimes inspiration. And the move to the country was, and I resent the fact that you think that our farming was an experiment. I mean, we were into it for 3 years or so. We raised sheep. I tackled sheep in order to be able to get it into a truck. And we did have chickens, we had ducks. We used to send your twin sisters out in one parka. One would put the left sleeve on and the other would put the right sleeve on, and they'd pull the hood up and they'd go out to the hen house and bring back eggs. I mean, we were part of a farming community, but that's the nice thing somehow about contemporary farming. Particularly the way the Nearings went about it. They were very grassroots, and they showed you the value of basic farming. At the same time, they understood the importance of communication, telephone lines. They didn't go ultra primitive. And so to that extent, even today, when I speak to issues of the environment, I may make allusions to certain sophistications like politics and the fact that we are living in a very entitled age, many of us just recognizing the injustices to a whole group of people that have been ignored or abused for many years in this life that we share here in America. But that's the nature of folk music. You open up a can of involvement, and everyone recognizes their part in the solving of the challenge. Hello? Am I still online?
Yes, you're still here. Thank you. Do you want to share a song with us?
Sure, sure. This was written for an environmental conference in Maine about, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago, but still has some pertinence. There's a warning in the wind that comes wailing through the trees, a depression in the shoreline left by the pounding seas. There is a lesson in the drought that brings a country to its knees in these times. We are dancing with disaster when we live beyond our needs and pretend our hungry souls are not related to our greed. Life's a journey, oh, but it's not about the speed in these times. In these times, we must be mindful of the gift. In these times, use our hands and hearts to lift the fallen spirit in this land. Planting flowers in the sand, reaching out a helping hand in these times. As the perfect storm approaches and the gale around us roars, no longer can we close our eyes or hide behind our doors. Our choice is fewer now by what we've chosen to ignore in these times. The ship of state is drifting and it's getting hard to steer. It's a complicated issue, but the direction's pretty clear. And each of us is who we need to get to there from here in these times. Ooh, in these times, we must be mindful of the gift in these times. Use our hands and hearts to lift the fallen spirit in this land, bringing water to the sand, reaching out a helping hand in these times. In everything that's living, there's a promise of a love planted in the seeds below and in the stars above. We must listen to its message, become faithful stewards of these times. Yeah, in these times, we must be mindful of the gift in these times. Use our hands and hearts to lift the fallen spirit in this land, planting gardens in the sand, reaching out a helping hand in these times.
Yes. Woo, powerful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Boy,
It's always good to be part of this, Liz.
thanks for sharing. How many times have I heard that song? And I just always hear it fresh. So thank you so much. Really appreciate your sharing that. That's great. All right. We're going to circle back with our roundtable discussion, and you will be there joining us. But in the meantime, now we're getting to the artists that you thought would be before you, Dad, but now they're after you. So we are going to head over. All right, Amy, Renee, are you in
You're
Indiana?
in.
Are you in
Yes.
Indiana? Yes. Indiana.
Right
Excellent.
on the edge of Kentucky and Indiana.
About an hour outside of Louisville, which is our hometown.
So we're from Louisville, but we live in Hoosier land. So we're from Louisville, but we're Hoosiers, so we're losers.
Okay. I bet you've done that one before. I don't think that's a
Yes.
new one. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we used to say we put the kin in Kentucky, but you know, yeah, we have them all. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let me introduce you guys a little more formally. So Renee and Amy play heartfelt eclectic folk featuring harmonies. And here's another one, smooth as Kentucky bourbon. Woo! They've been best friends since their teens when they met at a Holy Rollin' church outside of Louisville. Boy, you guys have been there for a while, and eventually fell in love. Moved to New Orleans, became street performers, singing songs about following your heart, freeing your dreams, and finding your bliss. Hence their band name, Troubadours of Divine Bliss. Breaking the shackles of genre with 9 records to their credit, they tour full-time and have been all over America, Canada, Scandinavia, and Europe. And somehow, as musicians, ministers, activists, writers, life coaches, and homesteaders, they've also found time to be entrepreneurs, founding the community unity organization, Mighty Kindness, and leading retreats and events at their nature sanctuary, Way of the Heart Woods. And there are still just 24 hours in your day, just like everybody else.
That's why there's 2 of us.
Oh, okay.
12-hour shifts, you know.
Okay, I see. Anyway, welcome you guys. Go ahead and please, the stage is yours. Share with us your song.
All right.
Well, this is a song about what everyone's speaking to tonight, about how the environment, the earth, affects us all, and that it's going to be up to all of us to heal her and to save this planet. We've got to work together as a mighty kindness to heal this world, to heal this planet. And that's what this song is, because the good news is we are the ones we've been waiting for to save the world. So, congratulations. Change is coming for me and you, though the path may be hard to journey. We must start in your heart with love and the faith. We can rise above in our soul with the peace. We can be the change we want to see. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Judging by the color of our skin, we've learned true colors are found within. No more casualties of greed. Every hungry mouth will feed. No more destroying our planet. We've learned our survival depends on it. No more hurting one another. We're all sisters and we're brothers. What happens to one happens to us all. Change, it's true. Feel change is coming for me and you. Though the path may be hard, oh, it's a journey we must start in your heart. Yes, with love. and the faith we can rise above in our soul. With the peace, we can be the change we want to see. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Oh, yeah. No more mountaintops removed. We want it green and clean, 'cause oil is crude. No more frankenseeds of food shipped from overseas. Local farms harvest security. No more leaders will we elect. Let the cities drown in their neglect. No more payoffs on Wall Street. No more layoffs on Main Street. No more foreclosing the American dream. Oh, 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 what began as a whisper has swelled into a chorus that cannot be ignored. It will ring out across this land as a hymn to heal this nation, repair this world again. Oh, I feel changed, it's true. I feel change is coming for me and you. And though the path may be hard, it's a journey we must start. We're starting your heart with love and the faith we can rise above in our soul. With the peace, we can be the change we want to see. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. I feel a change. It's true. The change is coming for me and you. Though the paths may be hard, oh, it's a journey we must start.
Sing it
We're
with us.
starting your heart. One love. Go ahead, unmute yourself. Oh yes, please. One life. Let's get together and feel alright. Can you all unmute yourself so we can hear you? Here we go. One love.
There it is.
One
love.
Let's get together and feel alright. One love. One love. Let's get together and feel alright. Feel a change, it's true. Feel a change is coming for me and you.
It sounded
Awesome.
wonderful.
Ow.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that was great. That was great. Oh, and one of these days we'll figure out that syncing thing so that we can all be
You know what?
together.
We sounded like a group of wonderful drunk earth advocates. That's what we sounded like.
That's a good point. Yeah. Hey, in the spirit of the day.
You know?
All right. Absolutely. So thank you. That was great.
Welcome.
So, all right. So trying to unpack this stuff. So you both have this wonderful way of talking about connecting to the earth, and we were talking about it during rehearsal. I feel like You talk about sort of your music, the organizations you're running, and even your lives as this kind of journey of both personal and community transformation. So it's like this holistic sense of kind of environmental stewardship and like just the way you kind of live and breathe and do. And I'm just curious about, all of that. But so I don't know, I really don't have a particular question, except just, I feel like so much, it's like you're really kind of living this reality of blending kind of personal and community transformation. So
Well, I think it's like what Alexa said earlier, and like RaShad is saying as well. There's no where it's not. The earth is everywhere, and it affects everything. It affects music, it affects art, it affects communities. The earth is us, and we are the earth. And so there's no aspect of our life that it doesn't affect us. So how could we not have a holistic approach as an artist, as a human being to the earth? And so we do. We've always started out, personally. We care and we try in an individual way to do what we can through what we buy, making sure it's environmentally sound and environmentally made and made by workers who are treated fairly. And so in small little minute ways, we've always started our personal journey that way. And then as artists, the love that courses through this planet to get people to connect to love. If they can love themselves and love each other, then they'll have a stronger sense of love and compassion for this earth. And so through our music, we've written songs caring for the planet. And then through our stewardship of the land, we live very simply on the land, and we've been able to acquire 64 acres called Way of the Heart Woods.
That adjoins the Hoosier National Forest. So it's been protected via a land trust, a Sycamore Land Trust, in perpetuity for generations to come. And so we're grateful to do that. And, we've found that music is a key that unlocks hearts, and it's a vessel to pour through, and it's absolute connection. We could stand out on the street corner all day with a megaphone talking about what you should care about, what you should stand up for, but music finds its way in so sweetly into hearts, and instead of people contracting to the message, it expands them.
Yes.
And that's why music has been a part of every way that we've made connection in community
right.
all along.
And so extending that into smaller groups of connection, getting people into the woods, getting people into the forest so they can fall in love with nature and understand their connection, it gives us a greater chance of getting people to protect and care for the planet,
Right. So on our retreat land, Way of the Heart Woods, we encourage nurturing in nature, and that just includes as well your inner nature. So it's important to connect with yourself first, and then when you're in nature, everybody loves nature. There's so many places that people go to connect. So there's something about it that is emotive for people, that opens them up, that connects them up to the gift of this creation that we get to explore and be inspired by and inhabit. It's incredible. And so we've just seen that it connects people not only to themselves, but it connects them to this gift of earth, and then ultimately to each other. We found that in our retreats, that people open up more in nature than they do if you're in a room having a retreat. There's something about it that is a big enough container, as we all know, to hold us all without boundaries and, with so much goodness.
That's so great, you guys. Thank you. We have a couple of minutes, but I know that you wanted to make a special mention of the Mighty Kindness initiative.
Speaking of connection of music to the environment, so this is a very interesting musical connection, because Mighty Kindness is a community unity festival that started on Earth Day 15 years ago, and started out with 300 people. Now is 6,000. But it started through our weekly shows in Louisville, and we started to build community through our weekly performances. And then through that community, we realized there were a lot of talented people there, and we wanted to start a showcase of music. So then we started a weekly open mic so the community could come together to express itself, to commune, to be together. And then we started to find all of these wonderful, kind people through music.
Doing great work in the community that were involved with these organizations that we knew needed to know about each other. So we wanted to make the kindness mightier and create a festival where they could connect and network, and people could find out about amazing nonprofits and green businesses and local food and local music and
Social
arts
justice and
yeah.
healing arts and all of the different ways that we exist in community are all connected. And the foundation is our number one most fundamental crisis that we're facing, which is care for this planet. And so if we can all work together, then there's hope that through our unity and through our collective power and strength and voice, that we can serve this planet and serve each other in a much kinder way.
That's great. Thank you so much, man. Amen to that. There's a lot of really good energy in this virtual room, boy. Excellent. All right. So we are going to circle back with each one of these artists for an encore at the end. But right now, we want to do this little roundtable. We do, in fact, have some questions to ask you all. So Esme's going to pin us all to the virtual kind of Zoom wall here, and Randy, the intrepid Randy, who's been managing the chat and taking in various questions and coming up with some of her own, is going to kind of step into the questions. So take it away, Randy.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us again tonight. Happy Earth Day. The first question that we have is from Julie Grower. And this question is actually directed specifically for RaShad. So the question is, have you done any getting students together with scientists and mixing it up? Maybe having students performing and asking questions of scientists, or scientists presenting to students?
Yes, we have actually done all of that. And what's so fascinating is I don't think we did it like, I guess, like, like you have that intention, like if we do this, this will happen. We just knew that we wanted the scientists to learn how to communicate, what they were doing better. So that was our main goal for doing that. And the young people have done, or at least, well, not this group that I'm working with, but in the past, 2 years ago, the youth group that I worked with, we did do a concert together, raised $56,000 for them and for the organization. It was the Solar Youth Program. So yeah, we have done that and wanted to do it again last year, but Dr. COVID had other plans. So.
All right, thank you. And I will move to our next question. This is for all of the artists. So the music around environmental movements seems to become popularized through the folk genre. Do you see this changing, and what would be the significance of any shift that you are seeing?
Well, I think first of all we have to understand that folk, as most people have viewed it from the 60s, really significantly altered music as a communication form. The Seeger and Guthrie and Josh White may have been there in the beginning, but the impact of folk music's popularity in the 60s just spread to so many different forms of music. Because, folk music now is so broad that I'd have to include hip hop and rap as an expression, an honest expression of community. And there's nothing more, natural and real and straight ahead than that. And it's also reggae. It's even, it's permeated every country in Western music now. Tom Paisley, is a perfect example of somebody who has decided not to write about pickups, and shotguns in the back of the truck, So the human element has, and the desire to be authentic and transparent, I think, of folk music has permeated all forms of music. So I think that the question is kind of answers itself, if you will.
we just have a couple of minutes, you guys. So I want to make sure that that Amy and Renee or Alexa, if you guys want to chime in on that question or any other thoughts. Yeah, Alexa, go ahead.
Like, it's a very good point. Just that folk music is really just the music of the people. It's the music that the people are writing, and it's the stuff that doesn't always get showcased in the arenas and things like that. So yes, folk music naturally, I think, is the vehicle, because these issues are coming up in communities. You know, they're not coming up in you know, the commercial music world does not concern themselves with these things necessarily. So to me, it is natural that folk music be that vehicle.
Yeah, so I know you have some other questions for Andy, but I'm also keeping an eye on time. So does any, I mean, has anything come up? Anything else from the artists that you want to just kind of share in this last kind of roundtable moment before we move on? Yeah, RaShad.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love the way that Alexa just said. Of course, you know, Noel just said, you know, about folk music being the music of the people. That's what we say hip hop is. You know, like hip hop is the music of the people. I mean, it, you know, coming out of the Bronx, you know, South Bronx, New York, and even some would say other parts of New York, like Brooklyn, but in particular the Bronx. I mean, you look at how it came together. It's sharing the experiences of the people. And if you think about even the people who become superstars in hip hop, most of them started talking about what was going on with the people before they got discovered. So, yeah.
Platform shoes and eyeshadow is not what you need to make a point to the public anymore.
All right, and on that note, we will we'll shift to spotlight me for a minute, because I just want to share a few things before the encore. Thank you all for being pinned to the Zoom wall for a moment with me. So before we do get into these artist encores, just want to remind folks, Music to Life is a nonprofit dedicated to supporting musician change agents. So if the spirit moves you, Randy's doing a great job of pivoting from keeping time, you know, forwarding questions, and now she's going to put some links in the chat so you can keep in touch with us, get involved, give back. And our next Brave Troubadours is going to focus on immigration advocacy on May 20th. So mark your calendars, bookmark the website. We'll have details later this month. And I'm going to put in a plug for these artists as if I really needed to, because they're just so amazing. But remember that each time you support an individual artist, like the ones that you've been meeting, their impact gets amplified. And so here's what that means. You can attend their concerts, you can underwrite their albums and projects, you can like or follow them on social media, you can share their work with friends, you can go to the retreat with your group of friends or your business colleagues. So for now, we're going to make sure that you have the artist socials during their encore songs, and we're going to give you more chances to tip them. But this is really, you know, it's a great way to, you know, if you can engage with them in all these ways, it really does sort of move them a little bit farther down the road. And you know, that's what we need them to do in this world. So, all right, Alexa, we're going to circle back to you. We would love to hear another song.
Thank you so much. This has been a true honor, and what a great organization Music to Life is for promoting musicians and musical activists like this. I truly appreciate it. I'm very honored and humbled. So miigwech, that means thank you in my language, miigwech. My last tune is the newest release that I have out. It's called New Song, just came out on April 2nd. And it's a single. With everything going on this year, I decided singles were the way to go. So we're doing singles this year, and this is the first one that I've gotten out, and do hope you enjoy it. I wrote it a year ago, 1 year from the release date, 1 year prior to the release date, and that was an accident. On the day that it released, I sort of started going back through my notes and realizing that I had written it the day before the Sanders campaign was suspended, and I thought this would be a really great song for them. But anyway, it's a good song for everyone. All right. It's called New Song, and it hopefully, you know, this invites you to sing. So it may be too distracting if you unmute, but please sing on mute along with me. That would be great. This is not the way that I thought the world would end. And though we're far apart, I'm so thankful for my friends. And we will not despair, we'll take this opportunity to better our relations, because we're one big family. Love is the message, love is a deed. Open our minds up, new eyes to see the way it has always been done is now gone. This is our moment to sing a new song. This is our moment to sing a new song. The hour is approaching, be ready when it comes. We can change the world with kindness, cause the darkness to run. One thing you must remember when you're pressed against the wall, that love is never wasted and the end comes to all. Love is the message, love is a deed. Open our minds up, new eyes to see the way it has always been done is now gone. This is our moment to sing a new song. This is our moment to sing a new song. Yeah, let's sing a new song. Let's sing it. Yeah, yeah, let's sing a new song. Yeah, let's sing a new song. Let's sing it. Let's sing it. Let's sing a new song. Love is the message. Love is a deed. Open our minds up, new eyes to see the way it has always been done is now gone. This is our moment to sing a new song. This is our moment to sing a new song. This is our moment to sing a new song.
Yay.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Right.
Oh, I want to sing that with you live someday. That's what I want to do. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, RaShad, moving on.
Yes. So
All
what I'm
right.
going to do is I'm going to share my sound with you all. And I'm going to do a song, one of my recent singles. It's called Redefinition. And I actually wrote this after the passing of John Lewis last year. Him and C.T. Vivian were family friends. I told you I come from a civil rights family. My uncle, James Orange, was the first field lieutenant appointed in the civil rights movement by Martin Luther King. And I am the child of civil rights activists. And all of this stems back to my grandmother. You know, she was the one that got our family involved in this Out of Orange. And I'm wearing her and my grandfather's marriage license as my t-shirt. So just wanted you all to see that. So, all right. So let's get going. Can you all hear that music? This is only my third time after performing this, even though it's virtually. All right, here we go. We need a healing, we need a revelation, redistribution, and urgent patience. We need the power, we got the brilliance. We need each other, teach, protect the children. We need to recalibrate, need to listen, need new ways of life, a new vision. If you always fighting, you ain't tripping. Go to heaven up, redefinition. Thank you, Malcolm. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Huey. Thank you, Asata. Thank you, Afeni. Thank you, Marcus, the green for the land, and the Irish. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Bay Art. Thank you, Mayor Anna Julia Cooper. Thank you, John Lewis, Dr. Lowry, C.T. Vivian, and front and not behind me. Revelation, redistribution, and urgent patience. We need the power, we got the brilliance. We need each other, teach, protect the children. We need to recalibrate, need to listen. Ways of life, a new vision. If you always fight, you ain't tripping. Go to heaven up, new definition. Words can be help, words can be pain, words can be love, words can be strange, words can speak truth, words can tell lies, words can be lifted, depending on the guys. And the ladies that speak them, words can be the best method to reach them. Words can motivate, words can legislate, words can bring together, and words can separate. Words can be soothing, words can irritate, words can make you dumb, words can educate, words can start a war, words can settle abuse, words can start a movement, words put you to sleep, words can save lives, words can kill, words can cause debt, words can pay bills, words can galvanize, and words can give hope to those who listen. Words is where I live. We need a revelation, redistribution, and urgent patience. We need the power, we got the brilliance. We need each other, teach, protect the children. We need to recalibrate, need to listen, need new ways of life, a new vision. If you always fight, you ain't tripping. Just go to heaven up, redefinition. Need a healing, we need a revelation, redistribution, and urgent patience. We need the power, we got the brilliance. We need each other, teach, protect the children. We need to recalibrate, need to listen, need new ways of life, a new vision. If you always fighting, you ain't tripping. Go to heaven up, redefinition. So you all can go check me out, RaShad Eas, on Spotify, and I hope you all enjoyed that song and just take those lyrics in and say we need a healing. That's what the land needs.
All right. Phew. They're in the chat, man. Randy's just dropping them. She's got everything. You can just follow up on all these folks. Thank you so much, RaShad.
Appreciate that, y'all. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you. All right. Last but not least, let's go back to who's your national forest?
Well, here's a prayer for our Divine Mother, the one that holds and carries us all, this holy temple we're living on and in and with and for. Down by the clear blue water, down beneath the big oak tree, down beneath the canopy of the tulip and shagbark hickory, deep in the mossy woods, deep where the wild ferns grow, deep by the spring fair creek, gonna find myself, resurrect my soul. Deep by the spring fair creek, gonna find myself, resurrect my soul. Holy temple, made by the hands of the Most High, sacred earth, Nourish my body, keep my soul alive. Nourish my body, keep my soul alive. Mm, mm. Lost all my worries, lost all track of time, lost in the reverie of the imagination of the divine, steeped in the evergreens, steeped in silence old as time. Where the wind sighs through the pines, I'm gonna find my peace of mind. Where the wind sighs through the pines, I'm gonna find my peace of mind. Holy temple, made by the hands of the Most High, sacred earth, nourish my body, keep my soul alive. Nourish my body, keep my soul alive. Nourish my body, keep my soul alive.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Alexa. Thank you, RaShad.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Noel. Thank you, Music to Life. Thank you all.
Oh my
Thank you.
gosh.
Powerful
Fantastic, you guys.
Thank
Holy
you,
cow.
Earth.
All right, one of these days, live festival, everybody there. Got to do it. Oh my gosh, that was just beautiful. All right. We are slightly over time, and I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank the artists. I want to thank you all for your patience. I know it took a little bit to get into the show today. Randy's going to post a very practical guide to creating a more sustainable daily routine that I just got sent today that I thought might be helpful. A few tips and tools there. But I also want to close with some wisdom from Ban Ki-moon, who is the 8th Secretary General of the UN. Saving our planet, lifting people out of poverty, and advancing economic growth. These are one and the same fight. We must connect the dots between climate change, water scarcity, energy shortages, racial disparities, global health, food security, and women's empowerment. Solutions to one problem must be solutions for all. This is, and what's so funny, of course, is I found this quote before I'd heard this whole program, and I just can't believe the thread that this quote kind of draws through everything that everybody's been saying and performing tonight. So, so blessed to be here with you, grateful to be here with you. Be safe, be an advocate as you go out into the world, and please take good care out there. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
See you. She might see us, right? She see you. She know you're here. She has no idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Will the chat be available later?
Yeah, you know, I thank you for that. Let's do a save of the chat. Let's do a save of the chat. Can you do that, Esme, or let's see.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Let's do that.
I know because I'm recording it on cloud too, they're gonna give me the option to look at.
Oh, yes, good.
I can also try to get it now, I think.
That's okay. It'll show up when you do the recording, it'll show up. But
yeah.
Dad, I'm glad you delayed dinner to sit and listen. I'm glad you were right through the end. That was great. Oof, you guys, I want to just be part of this live family like right now. I just want it to be like outside. I want to be hearing more of it. Wow, that was great. That was great.
Really, really powerful. So inspiring, RaShad, Alexa, Noel. Do you like to go by Noel, or do you go, how do you like to be referred?
He just doesn't want to be called late to dinner. That's all.
Well,
Ba-bum.
tonight he was.
Right.
No,
That's
actually,
funny.
Noel's my given name. I took
Noah,
that
I
Noel.
loved your
Beautiful.
song. Both
Yeah.
of, well, I mean, all your songs, but boy, what you did tonight was just
Oh,
really
thank you. I really
so
love your
powerful.
stuff too. It's
Mm.
really a great. And Rashad, that was just great. I went, I did a quick fix to find out who the Easley guy was. And I went on YouTube and watched that little poetry thing you did in the forest. Oh man, that is so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and Alexa, that is definitely a sing along to sing along. I don't know if we'll ever fix the latency issues, the
Yeah.
delay, but man, that was great. And I love the fact you said leave the mute on, just sing.
Yeah, that was probably a very wise call.
Yeah, really. I'll
Thank
tell
you.
you, because those howling.
Sorry about that, everyone.
No, no, it's
Great.
fine. It made a moment, right? Didn't it?
It was
Like
great.
Rashad, you were getting into it. It made the moment.
Yeah.
It was like,
No, thank you.
hey,
I
yeah,
needed to hear that singing. No, that wasn't. I mean,
exactly.
it touched my heart after.
It
That's
was
why I was
great.
like, okay, all
It
right.
was great. It was
Funny
great.
thing is, you can do it, but you can't keep time. Like I could sing, oh, somebody's gonna sing harmony, and somebody else can sing harmony, and oh, and you can make a sound, you just can't
Yeah.
Mhm.
Move it.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can't change it.
Right. Right.
Well, bless you all.
All
Bless
right, you
you.
guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Liz.
Shaw.
Wonderful
Bless y'all.
job,
Thank you.
Liz.
Thank you, Liz.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. You just,
Rachel,
Esme,
Randy.
yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Randy.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah. Thanks, Randy. Thanks, Esme.
Oh,
All right.
Thank you.
I think we're going to hang up now. Take
Bye.
care, you guys.
thanks.
Be well.
Good
Be
night.
blessed.
All right.
Bye
Good
bye.
night. Bye. I know it's so hard to hang up, but we're going to hang up now. You're so funny. Esme, you're laughing. Why are you laughing so much? Because I don't like to hang up.
No, there was a dog on the camera that was,
Oh, okay.
it was waving goodbye at us.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I didn't see that. All right.
I actually
right.
wish I saw that.
That's funny. All right, you guys. I'm gonna kick off, I think, but we will debrief, and you guys were just great tonight. Thank you, thank you. Get some rest, Randy. Get some rest.
Yes.
You gals as well. I know you guys have been working hard too. We all deserve the rest, but
We do deserve the rest.
no.